There were strengths in the curriculum that the audit found, but there were gaping holes. One of the strengths was a real set of core novels, core readings that were in fact aligned to the standards. The gaps, though, showed that despite this grounding in incredibly rich, complex text, there was not a corresponding series of complex tasks that were tied to those texts. It meant that even though we had rigorous, great texts like Letter from a Birmingham Jail, Bridge to Terabitha that we were teaching a year earlier than we had previously taught, the kinds of questions we were asking kids did not really get at the heart of what college and career-ready standards in Maryland were really trying to do. So there was no deep analysis of the text. There was not enough requirements for young people to write in response to text. There was not enough guidance to teachers about the kinds of questions that you can ask young people who may be below level reading, but still help them accelerate their comprehension and understanding of text. Another major finding was that despite the advantage that we had with regards to having more representation of the experiences of people of color, in particular African Americans, given our school district is overwhelmingly African American, we did not give a balanced diet of the history of African Americans. It was overly focused on some of the most challenging aspects and frankly depressing aspects of African American history that are absolutely part of the real story, but were not balanced out with what role did the debates between Ida B. Wells and Booker T. and Frederick Douglass, how did those play out and what does that represent with regards to Black intellectual life? What role does the Harlem Renaissance play? What role does the Great Migration play, right? Those aspects of histories that balanced out and showed the strengths of the community as well as what some of the challenges were. Those are two major areas. And then I'd say the third was that we had huge gaps in knowledge. And so young people might learn a lot about the Civil War but knew nothing about the Revolutionary War. When you come from wealth, you can supplement what the school is not providing, whether it's public or private. When you do not have access to that cultural capital and, frankly, hard cold cash capital, you are left to the mercy of those who are teaching you every day. Curriculum cannot totally control for that, but it can partially control for that. Public schools have a responsibility to make explicit what the keys to access to higher learning are for all families. That, to me, is the equalizer effect.